Good morning to all of you. Hello. So, how is everybody? Yeah. All right. Hey, Margaret. Hey, Debbie. But yes, good morning. Hey, Tanya. Good morning. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you for being here on this, at least for some of us, it's a rainy morning. So it's the 23rd of July. So we're plugging through the summer very quickly. Hey, Dana. Hey, Kim. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Jen. Hey, Rhonda. Good morning to you all. Hello, Carmen. Well, we need to stop for just a moment. We have to stop for a moment because as soon as I find it, there we go. Everybody, please, in the chat room, wish Miss Carmen a very, very happy birthday today. Hey, April. Hey, Kelly. Thank you, Rhonda. I would move over, but then I start moving out of frame, and I could be a little bit more center. But yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, wish Carmen a happy birthday. She's a really good friend of mine and fellow medium and things like, and a very talented holistic practitioner. And you guys have heard me talk about her before, and um, message about her products and things, and so Natural Ability. If you guys are interested, you can always go to her page and check things out, and she can help you out with a lot of things. So I mean, it is what it is. So but yes, happy birthday, Carmen. Anyway, as we move along, so if I start to glisten a little bit, it's because I'm quite warm, even with drinking the coffee and wearing a vest, which I probably shouldn't have did or done, but I did anyway. Because it's hard to break habits and things of that sort, so I had to at least still look the same. Uh, the crazy thing about it is that for now, what is it, 3 4 days, 4 days, this might be day 4. Yeah, I think it's whenever I posted about it, but this is day 4 of no air conditioning in the house. Of course, it's the week when you were all in the upper 80s to low 90s, so go figure, right? And I think I posted about it, but I know I told some friends too that it's interesting that everybody knows somebody that when the heat rises and everybody's running, there's always somebody in a friends group somewhere that that the air conditioning dies, and so then they're in this misery state, and so I just happen to be that one. So you can thank me all for taking all that problems off of all of you. So um but yeah, it's been warm. I have an old window unit that I've kind of kept in my bedroom to try to at least have some sleep at night, which hasn't been easy. I'm not And that's just wonderful. Telemarketers at this early. But uh so I got the window unit, and but I'm not used to all that noise, and so it's just, and even then just trying to get the temperature decent enough. So it's just what crazy it is. And then my brother helped let me borrow a rolling unit, and so that's helping, but it's not doing a whole lot, obviously, because I'm trying to use that one on the main floor. But it's been nice that I've gotten to go to work and things like that, so because then I can use the car, use the car AC and then work AC, but obviously now that the weekend's upon us, and I'm on full kid duty this weekend, because half the family is gone, and so it's just my son and I, and so my son and I are having to make do until tomorrow late afternoon or something like that when they return. But yeah, so we'll see how the day goes. You never know, might have to jump in the car or something like that. But I do have my bedroom it's nice, so if I really needed to, I could hang out in my bedroom, and almost feel like you could like put on more warmer clothes or put a blanket over you. That's how much fun it is for me. So hey, Heather, good morning. But yeah, so that's kind of been the one big thing this week that's been horrible. I think it was funny was I don't think I didn't post about it, but I know I posted the same day. But when I think it was about the AC stuff. Maybe it was. I don't know. I think it was Wednesday. I think Wednesday or Thursday. But I was driving home, and I always tell everybody every week, and well, sometimes every week, but I always say, you make sure you guys are always looking out for messages because you just never know when it's going to show up. And I couldn't have gotten any more clear messages, on my way home. It was either Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember which day it was, but it was so hilarious. Because there's obviously there's frustration, because one, it was a day I worked a little bit over, not bad, but we're not supposed to, but we were just trying to get enough done so we didn't have to do as much the next day. Well, you know what, it had to have been Thursday because it was Thursday. So I'm I work over 20 minutes, and by the time I get out to the car and on my way, it's about 3:30, so that's ready. Normally I'm showing up back into town at 4, a little after 4. And so there's that delay. And then about halfway home, I'm still in Michigan, and there's an accident. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, we were entering a construction zone. Hey, good morning, Sharon. And both the northbound and southbound lanes are down to 2 lanes each, where they took out the passing lanes on each side because they're redoing the fence in the middle of the median and everything. So not that it matters because we're over to the center and right lane. So, I don't really, have a whatever. But apparently a semi decided to crash through the concrete barrier and is in the middle of the median, in the grass and everything. But yet everybody, and if you are one of these people, we're going to have a talk later. We don't need to care what's going on when it doesn't pertain to anything on the road. The truck was in the grass getting picked up, to get pulled out of the, and get unstuck and stuff. I don't understand why we all had to watch this. Some of us would just like to just get home, so if you're a gawker, let's have a chat later because I don't get that. Like, I understand if, it's blocking lanes in your side of the road and you got to be careful. Obviously there's first responders and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that, but when it has nothing to do with your side or is away from your driving lanes, can we just go? It's not a vent, and I'm not complaining. It's just more of a public service announcement. So don't gawk if you don't need to. It doesn't matter. So, and yet there's more. So we all deal with that. We get through. I get back into Ohio, and I'm getting through the downtown. I just passed downtown Toledo, and I'm coming up to the big bridge to cross over. And I'm starting to see us all slowing down again. I'm like, what is going? I just can't win today, And at this point, I'm already realizing that the delay of working over, and then the delay with the Michigan, semi thing, and now this one, I'm like, apparently, I'm not supposed to get home at any point in a normal fashion. So sure enough, our side, the southbound side, is completely fine. Hey, good morning, Amanda. And our southbound side was completely fine. I mean, it's down to 2 lanes, but no big deal because they're fixing all the bridges and overpasses and all that fun stuff. Our side's fine. Nothing's going on. On the other side, the northbound side, apparently people decided not to pay attention and decided to just ram each other and do a pile up in the left lane that because they have 2 lanes on that side too. There was like 4 or 5 cars, but mind you, I'm in the left lane on the southbound side. Now there's a concrete wall, so you can only see the tops of the cars, and you can see everybody standing there with police and everything. But yet our side is crawling. What are you looking at? You can't see anything. You see the tops of roofs of cars and people. What are we looking at? So again, why are we gawking when we don't need to be? So if you're a gawker, don't do it. So that was my excitement, but that was, and things like that happen, and, annoying as it is. Yes. But it's just like, why do I keep getting delayed? But I realize, the only, there you go, Debbie. The only thing that was, clear was just I got to spend more time in air conditioning, which is true. Because obviously I would have been home, about 4:10, 4:15. Yeah, that's right, Kelly. Gawk on your own time. Go home and gawk at it. Look at the map, be like, haha, those people, But, Yeah, I mean, and so I just realized I got to stay, more in AC, which, once I got through the Ohio, thing, which again didn't really matter because it wasn't my side of the road, but those are what happened. And I know a lot of people do get frustrated. You get the road rage and things like that. And um, you know, I I've always looked at it, yes, you do have a moment of like, come on, and people cutting you off, things like that, where it is kind of like, it's scary stuff. And but then things like that do happen. They slow it. The whole thing is we're always supposed to be kind of on a slower pace anyway, so then to have something like that happen and if multiple things happen in the same day, yeah, it doesn't get any more clear. So I mean, I totally got the message. It's like, okay, slow down a little bit, which is true because in life, I mean, this week has been up and down for me. I mean, it's kind of been that way for a long time, whether it's been really down or same thing, kind of up and down, but haven't been really flying high type of thing, where it's just been a fantastic week from top to bottom, which is okay because that's the way it is. It's life. But yeah, I mean, to have all those things happen and then that happen, it's just like, you sometimes just, you want to feel, pity on yourself. It's like, this just always happens to me and stuff, but there's a reason for it. So I mean, if you're saying that to yourself, well, you need to stop for a moment and just take a deep breath and be like, okay, what's really going on? What's going on in my life? Because even then, sometimes being delayed coming home might be because it's trying to avoid getting you in your own car accident type of thing. Because there's been times where that people have talked about that, where they couldn't get home on time, but yet when they got home, there's a big wreck. And it's like, thinking about it, you could have been in that wreck. So your guides, angels, all your support on the other side, they're looking out for you. I mean, that's why sometimes it's nice to listen to them, because they know what they're talking about, right? So yeah, that was some fun, the end of this week and things. But yeah, I had some other kind of cool things. I'm gonna touch on one of them, but I can't go into details, but I can't elaborate too much because I'm gonna be on another show that's gonna go more in depth into it later this coming week. But and what was Kim saying? Had a great sign yesterday. I was upset from the unfunded bad review. Then outside, and a hawk flew overhead and let out the loud screech. Made me realize that there's bigger and better things on focus. Yeah, Kim, I think a lot of people that get into our positions where we're a little bit more, in the face of public, whether it's videos, whether you're on TV, all those various things of where you're just more out there, TikTok and Instagram, and I mean, just all the social media, there's always going to be those haters out there. And they show up, and it's just, it is what it is. You can't avoid it. And the hard part is the first few times suck because it does get to you, because it's just like, why, what did I do? I'm not, what in your heart, what's up. And yet here it is, they're just hating on you, but then you realize that they don't know nothing about you. And that's the key, is that they really don't know anything about you. And obviously they show up one time, maybe two, and then they're thinking like they can just, say this, that, and the other about you in a negative way. Well, that's just because it's feeding themselves, whether they're narcissists, or, energy vampires, that sort of thing, because that's all they do. They're just out there to pick on people and make themselves feel better in the end. And, it's unfortunate, I mean, I've had some, over the years, and, you just handle it. I mean, I've had one this year, and, tried a lot of stuff, and I just didn't put up with it. I mean, I gave them a chance, and they just continued to do things that just didn't make any sense and weren't true. And I just had to, get rid of them. And it's, it sucks. I mean, you hate to do it, but at the same time, you got to protect yourself. You got to get these people out of your lives. And so whether you can block them or something like that, I know Kim with a review, that's tough because you can't get a review, sometimes, and depending on the social media sites, you can't get a review back because then it's always there. But at the same time, that's just haters. And, if they look at the rest of the reviews that you have, I'm sure people would be like, okay, that had to have been some type of jerk that wasn't, really doing anything, just being a jerk, yeah. So Debbie saying, yes, heed the signs now, or with the bigger obstacle there. Yeah, absolutely, Debbie. Yeah. I mean, it's, like I said, the whole thing for me, slowing down. I say that a lot. We have to slow down because we're always fast paced. We're always on the go, and we all do various things, and we all have to hurry up to get to the next thing. And so, it's really, really tough out there sometimes. Amanda, I'm dealing with them kind of people at the time. Yeah, Amanda, it sucks. And even then it's worse, especially, and a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people do know, is that it can be difficult when it's family. Those are the really tough ones because, it's family. So it's hard to realize that you may have to put your foot down, and you may have to literally cut a family member out of your life. And it could be somebody really close. It could be a parent, for, a lot of us. And that's a tough pill to swallow, because how do you do that, but you realize, the torment, the torture, and the mental side of things, it's a lot. It's a lot to take. So, it's never easy. And me and so many others can easily tell you all the time. I mean, you just got to do it. And granted, like I said, I try to give people, a chance, and it doesn't, most times it doesn't work out in the end. They're going to keep up with it, but at least you could say, you tried to give them another thing. And I said my bad word, try, but you do give them another opportunity to kind of redeem themselves, just because that's how nice you are. You really are, making an effort to give them that chance, and they just don't. And it's it's unfortunate. So, Margaret, I had a whole group of crows show up and start screeching at me yesterday. Okay. Rochelle. Hey, Rochelle, how are you? No time, no time. I'm hanging in there, Rochelle. Hopefully you're doing well too. Amanda, I've noticed a lot is over jealousy over my gifts. And yes, I pulled out the knife and cut them out of my life, and they're now more mad now. But yeah. And see, that's the outcome of that too, is, whether it's friends or family. I mean, that's because see, now they don't have somebody that they can, dump things on or pull things away from you. So it's a tough one, but that's the thing, is you just have to keep, the main thing too. Well, I guess I should change that a little bit. When you, anybody at any point, whether you have and you're dealing with it, Amanda's dealing with it, or you're in the future and you have to do that, the big thing too is once you've cut them out and you've stated your piece, hey, I'm done. I'm not talking to you again, period. And you didn't realize that you have to, at that point, you've said the final mark. It doesn't matter what they say moving forward anymore. At a point, you have to not care. And it's tough when you've never done that before, when you're cutting somebody out. But you really do. You have to literally just realize, doesn't matter what they say anymore. It doesn't. They could say all the most hateful things, and they could be spreading it all over the place, social media and stuff like. That's them. That's them saying it because they're mad, and they're doing that out of spite. They're doing it because they're trying to feel better about themselves. So they're doing nothing but hurting themselves, even though you might be getting wind of it. You might be seeing it. It doesn't matter anymore because you know who you are inside. And a lot of people know who you are inside. And I'm talking about anybody, not just Amanda too, but we who you are deep down inside. I mean, we all screw up, we all make mistakes, but you can own up to them, you can fess up to them, and you can apologize for them and stuff. But, there comes a point where, people are just being jerks, and they're saying all this stuff, and then they're now giving you a hard time, over you making, a choice to move forward. That's it. You have to cut that cord, and as painful as it is, you just got to. So, Amanda, good luck, and even then for anybody else that has to do this or has done it, and it's just one of those things, it happens, and nowadays I think we see it's a lot more, I think, because there is so much, social media is, probably the worst of it all, because of the fact that there's things that can happen anywhere on any platform. And so it's easy to just, you don't get all the information about, whatever the situation is between you and whoever it is, or you and them, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, it's crazy out there, but yeah, it takes time to get comfortable with, once you've said what you could, and yet they're still, trying to dish things out, it takes time to get used to just literally cutting them out, because then it doesn't matter what they say anymore at all. And that happens to me, once I've, had to do some things, I just don't think about it anymore. Even if I see their name or, or even see them in person, sometimes you still are going to run into them, maybe at some point. And I'm not going to sit there and start anything. I mean, if they're going to come up and they're going to start stuff, I'm not going to be saying anything. I'm just going to stand there, and I'm just going to try to just keep moving on and doing what I do. I mean, because eventually, when people see that they're just doing that to you and you're not arguing back, you're not fighting back, they're going to realize there's something wrong with them, not you, which is kind of cool. Even though it's a weird tactic, but you have to remember too, when you don't say anything back, you're making them look way worse. And that's kind of cool, even though it's a little mean, but you're really holding yourself. You're really controlling yourself. You're kind of putting that wall up and being like, hey, I'm out. You know what I mean? But I've helped a lot of people that way. And just realizing that the more you add fuel to the fire, even if you're trying to defend yourself, that fire gets bigger. And it always has. And if you really look at any situations that maybe you've been in, or you guys know, people that you're friends with that have been in situations like that, what happens every time they fight back and they throw things? It just gets worse and worse, and nothing's happened. I mean, so I've always kind of chosen that once you've said your piece, like I've said a million times today already, and then that's it. You back out and you're done. You move on, period. And it's just, you got to do it a few times to get used to it. And then that way you really do have that wall. And so it doesn't matter what they say anymore. Saying, hey, Kate, cool, Kim. Yeah, you're welcome, Amanda. There you go. Yeah. And Amanda, as simple as just, considering to, keep thinking of a wall, when you're around these people, put yourself inside of a bubble and just know that you're always protected at any point. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what happens out there. And, we just have to do the best we can, and obviously there's going to be times where it all, kind of falls apart and we, get wrapped into it, but just try to make sure that you can still stop yourself. You might be used to firing back at somebody. You might be used to just, somebody says that you suck. Well, you suck, yeah. It's easy to get into that, but the more you practice it, when you're in the moments where they're like, well, you suck. Well, I'm you kind of skirt around trying to let anger do all the talking for you. You try to go in there, a little bit more level headed, because if you're calm about it, you're not going to make them even worse, even though they're going to get to a point where they're going to hate the fact that you're not fueling them anymore. But they're going to walk away at some point because they realize they're just not getting through to you anymore, which is also then when you get to turn around and smile and laugh at them, being like, ha ha, you didn't win. So, oh, what do we got, Debbie? I got attacked and called a liar on weird secondhand find site yesterday for complimenting someone in their dress they found and were wearing. Had to just stop and pull back. I wanted to engage, but it wouldn't make. Yeah, that's a great example. I mean, here it is. You think you're doing something nice, and then people, are just going to dog you for it. And it's like, it makes no sense, but it's right. You could have easily jumped in. You could have said this, that, and the other, and just gone after them. And, and sometimes it's just easier not to do it. You know what I mean? Because you obviously, there's something wrong with them. And maybe they had a bad day and that's just their reaction. I see that at my day job a lot. We go to a room, when the equipment's not working and, customers are not happy and they're mad and you can see it and they're frustrated. And when it's not working, and yet you're working the issue out, but see, I always made it like, if I see that they're upset and you literally see the anger in them, my goal is to make them smile before I walk out of the room. So I do my thing. I go through all my steps of figuring out the issue, fix it, get them running. And then I try to start joking with them. Even if the meeting's already started, I try to joke a little bit just to get that tension off them, because then that way I can know that their meeting's going to change. It's not going to have this tension. And, because they might be some issues that they have to fix, on whatever stuff they're working on. But maybe they're not going to be so angry. Maybe they're not going to be yelling at them. So yeah, I get a lot of times the opportunity to practice a lot, in various situations, and like work is one of those key ones for me. I get to try things out in a way. I mean, again, my bad word, try, but it's one of those things that you do. You get to practice that, and when you see that it works, it's kind of addictive after a while, because you just like, oh my gosh, you can literally take a situation that's, horrible, and you can spin it. You have the power to do that. And even if, though, like for me, even if the clients are still not happy, you got to remember they probably under a lot of tension. Maybe their managers are coming down on them, so they're getting yelled at. So it's natural for you to yell further down the line. So that's how it goes. You never know what people are going through every day, especially if they react in any way, whether it's, on a social media site, whether it's in person. And, you just have to, take it for what it is. And just the key is, and Debbie said that too, kind of, disengage, kind of step back for a second. And, it takes seconds to realize what's going on, in the situation. Doesn't mean you need to jump in, because even then, maybe you do. Maybe there is a real important reason. Thanks to maybe there is a real reason for you to have to jump in on something. And you have to, because obviously, like, we all have family. That's it, Debbie. Yep. And, mess with my family. Yeah, I'm not going to probably be as nice about things. You know what I mean? Are real good friends. I'm not going to be nice, not that I'm saying we're going to get like physical. That's not going to happen, because that really, just leads to more issues. But yeah, I mean, if there's some type of, situation going on, oh man, I mean, I'm not going to sit there and play that game, or allow that to happen, because, I'm definitely going to get in between things, and I'm going to make sure that we kind of I'm going to try to control the situation then. So there you go, Tim. Calm down, buddy. Calm down. But yeah. But yeah, that was cool. That was cool. That was a fun like thing that we didn't even know we were going to go down. But amazing how we can say. I'm glad this was open discussion day. So, I do, while I get a chance, I'll take a minute or two, because right now, because I said I'm literally I'm kind of doing double duty. So I mean, I'm kind of watching my son right now, even though I can't see him, but I know he's upstairs somewhere. And so at any point I may have to drop out, and if that's the case, that's why. And I know there's some storms coming, so that's the other thing that might happen too. If the power goes out, show's over. So so yeah, if I disappear abruptly, that's another good reason. So, but I think the show will wrap up if I can get, like, we're almost down to 30 minutes anyway, so that's awesome. But yeah, I just wanted to mention a couple, like I do, because they're coming up fast. A couple events that are coming up, next weekend, a week from today, at our old mill. We got a couple of the Tennessee Wraith Chaser guys coming out. We're going to do a meet and greet and a ghost hunt until like 1 a.m. So if you're interested in that, and that's in Dundee, Michigan, our old mill and museum. So if you're interested in that, you can go to our old mill site, or haunted old mill, and there's links, and I have it. You might have to scroll. I might have to bump up the post for that. But yeah, we got that coming up a week from tonight, so that'll be kind of fun. And then the weekend after that, so we're looking at the August 6th and 7th, is the Shamanic Journeys class that I've been talking about for a long time. We still got spots available, so if anybody's interested, you're paying for Saturday and Sunday, but you're more than welcome to come out Friday evening if you want to set up and start your weekend a little bit early. That way it gives you time to kind of to decompress and kind of forget about the week, and then get ready for all the fun we're going to have all weekend. So that's going to be a good time. That's here locally, it's Swanton, but I'm going to say Toledo area, because most people can look at a map and know where Toledo is, but not too far from Toledo. So it's locally. So that's on the Storms on the Hillsdale at the lake right now. Okay, go. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I saw it about an hour ago, and I kind of just saw where they were which way they were working, and then I was like, okay, we'll see what happens here. But I didn't look as I got closer to the showtime. But yep. So we got that coming up, and you got to remember now to talk about that class again. You guys have heard me say it over and over again. It's titled awareness, but yeah, it's a lot of learning how to communicate with your guides. A lot of us don't know how to do it. Not sure. This isn't a mediumship stuff. This has nothing to do with that. It can segue that way, which is how it worked for me. But that was also 7 years later before that even begun, before that door even cracked open. So, and that's also a hard decision to really push that too. But, we get to the point where we can't always reach out to everybody. Not everybody has all the answers, but your guides, do, and your angels, all the people that are supporting you on the other side, they're there to help guide you, which again, they're going to get you out of trouble, if they can, and so you have an opportunity, if you've never met your guides, to get the fundamentals down, and you can record a lot of the guided meditations that are going to happen, and you'll be able to go home with that, and you can throw them on in your headphones or earbuds or whatever, and you can then go back through it and do the exercises, do the meditations again, and build it up, because you got to quiet your mind down. So this class is going to do that. Hey, good morning, Bonnie. And so it's a good start to a lot of things, even just relaxing a little bit more. It's going to calm you down. Uh, you know, there's a few other little areas we're going to touch on, and then that does lead, to class two, which deals with a little bit more healing and a little bit more further journeying. But it's the first class is I wouldn't be doing any of the stuff I'm doing today if it wasn't for this class. And so, you know, I mean, I took it in 2005, so it's the same school, same teacher, and now I get to be a co-teacher. But I also was a teaching assistant for several years, and then I got so busy with other stuff that I couldn't make it back to help. And so now I've had the opportunity. We none of the classes didn't work out last year, or I couldn't make it, but I technically get to be a co-teacher for this now, and I'm excited because I really do. I believe in this class, and it's one of those rare moments for me that, hey, Jody. And it's rare. It's rare for me to sit there and try to push, on stuff. I mean, I'm not a great marketing person. I'm not at all like that. And so, you try to do a little bit, but this is one of those that, I mean, if you've ever wanted to make a change in your life, or get to a point to where you could ask the questions about your life, this is it, because you can do it for yourself. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. So that's on the 6th and 7th. So that's coming up in 2 weeks. So that I can't wait. I can't wait. And Carmen, who I talked about, it's her birthday today. So we're having it at her place. So she's got like 7 acres. So we got plenty of places to move and spread out. And we're gonna have a blast, and there's several people that are signed up already. Would love to see it even bigger. I mean, a bigger class. The energy, the vibes, of all of us being on the on a curiosity mindset, just makes the class more powerful, and people can literally ask questions to each other because because we have open discussions to where well, you experienced this, well, I experienced this, and you just kind of build that little network up. And it's amazing that how, when it all comes together, and how we all are on this, working to be on the same page. And it's really, really cool. I can't wait. Hey, Donna, good morning. So yeah, it's going to be awesome. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, if you guys are interested, you can go to survivalschool.com. You got to remember, their main thing for the school, well, the school is called Midwest Native Skills, but they typically teach outdoor, basic survival skills. If you have equipment, you don't have equipment. So that's why it's survivalschool.com. And you can go into, excuse me, the courses, look up Shamanic Journeys, and it'll pull you up to the page. Just make sure it's class 1, and you can sign up that way. And if not, you can hit me up. You can message me. I also have the link somewhere down in my post. So if you were to go to my Medium page and scroll, you'll find it again. But yeah, so that's coming up. What else we got? So Bonnie's in the room, and I'm gonna lightly touch on things because obviously I can't divulge a lot of personal information. Hey, Chris, what's happening, buddy? And I guess because we're down to the time, and I could no, Tim, you rock, buddy, you rock. So I because I gotta remember, I keep listening for my son just in case. So this will be cool. So we get into this a little bit, it'll be great. But I mentioned in one of my posts, I think it was Monday night or Tuesday morning, I don't remember what day it was. It might have been Monday night, I think I did. And I talked about light language a little bit, and I'm going to be on, Bonnie's going to hold the show. And I don't remember, Bonnie, maybe you can correct me. I don't know if all the public are going to be able to see it or not, but maybe we can make that happen. But Bonnie's going to hold the show, and I'm going to be on her show later this week. and we're going to go deep into it because, I'm in that new beginner ish stage of light language. And so, you know, getting my perspective for people that are wanting to do that or learn more about it, that's going to be cool for them. So, I'm not going to get too detailed on this stuff. I want to save it for Bonnie's show. But hopefully if Bonnie's still watching, she can let me know if if it's just private or if there's a chance that others can see it. And if not, we'll do another show. And then Bonnie, I'll bring you back on the morning show, Bonnie, because I don't do guests that often, but we could bring it back and we'll just do a fresh light language show. But yeah, so I had an opportunity, and again, I can't use names or specifics, but hey, what's going on? Good morning, Togs, Jeff. No, because I've got my son. That's off air stuff. So well, that's off air stuff. But no, I'm not going to make it this weekend. So I had an opportunity, because last week, a week ago Friday, was hanging out and with some friends, and I had a chance to be by myself for a little bit, and I was, outdoors in nature, and I think I talked a little bit about it, maybe I didn't, but animal world was going nuts. I've never heard it so loud. Hey Harold, good morning. I've never heard the animal world so loud before, and I was real quiet. I wasn't really noisy, but I just ended up sitting down and just really making a lot of noise. And I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of giving love out. So, I'm in a happy place, and I'm not, stressing or, nothing negative. And they just were, going crazy. And eventually I start hearing, because you got to remember, I don't audibly hear things when I do mediumship. So if I'm giving readings, I am getting visuals and or feeling or knowing. And I did not, it was just wild I'm hearing voices, and it's like, and I'm cool with it because it doesn't freak me out, but I'm just like, whoa, okay, there's a voice. Okay, cool. So I'm hearing it, but what I'm hearing is I'm hearing light language. And I'm like, and I knew instantly what it was. I'm like, well, this is okay. I've heard it. I've only heard words before, but now I was hearing words, but then also sentences. So I was starting to get more fascinated with this because this was like, I'm hearing long stretches of stuff. This is and something that, I'm going to talk about, on Bonnie's thing was that it's an odd language. And if you guys can go to YouTube and you can look up light language stuff. And even then, if you were to go back over a year, I think it was like either a year in December, a year in January, when I had Bonnie on, and I had Bonnie do light language with everybody on the show. So you can click on videos and scroll down and see if you can find the one with her. But if not, go to YouTube and you can look up people that do light language. And so it's very similar, and depending, like for me, it's really slow. So there's some that can really talk super fast and stuff like that, which is awesome. But for me, it was really slow, and which is good because I can actually hear it then clear. So it was, I was, understanding, but not understanding. So I'm hearing it. And then I started just to recite it as I heard it. So I was whispering it. And the cool thing about that is as I'm sitting there and I'm hearing it, so I said, like, say it. So I'm whispering it. So I'm being real quiet, and all of a sudden, as soon as I would finish the couple words or the sentence, the animals would go crazy. It was just like, it was kind of be like you're a comedian, you tell a joke and everybody starts clapping, it was like that. It was just this crazy excitement, and then when I would start saying it, it was quiet, a few birds and stuff but then all of a sudden I get done with it and then everything just goes crazy. And I'm like, this is unbelievable. And this went on, I don't know, like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. So, it was a pretty long stretch. Because I knew what rough time it was. And then, when it finished, I was just like, whoa, that was a long time for, my first time really hearing more than just a few words. I was having a field day with it. It was just awesome. And so then, I was, my friends were there. So I was talking to them about it, and it was kind of cool because you're sharing it. We all are holistic practitioners. And so it's been on my mind a lot. So I'm like, I got excited. I told Bonnie about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you wouldn't believe this, and this is what, this happened and stuff. She's like, that's so cool. So, because Bonnie knows light language really well. So, I mean, I look up to her for that stuff. And because she was one of the first people I've ever heard do it. Like when it came up like 2 years ago, I had no idea what the heck it even meant. You know what I mean? It was completely a foreign thing to me. And I'm just like, and by the way, it's 1010, guys, just so you know, 1010. Got it. Got to look at that time. But I was so fascinated because the first time I'm thinking, okay, this is some weird gibberish stuff, because it does. But when you open yourself up to it, and especially your heart, and that's key right there, when you open up to it, it starts to become normal. It's like you understand it, and that's a deep, deep discussion. I'm not going to go there for this show, but it's amazing. Like you really feel it, you understand it, and even though you don't have a clue what the words mean, you do know what it means, because the sounds, the tones, and the frequencies that are hitting you inside your brain is kind of all decoding it and deciphering it, and you start to hear it. So even that day, a week ago Friday, some of the wording, I heard the translation of it. Like I felt what it meant. And so like I would hear a few things and I'd be like, oh, that means this. And it was weird because I wasn't even thinking about it. It was just boom. It was right there in my head. I knew exactly what it meant. And then I feel all like warm and fuzzy. I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. I can translate, which, it's not easy in the beginning either. When I, talking to Bonnie a little bit about it, which we'll discuss further. But yeah, I was just like, oh my God. So fast forward to Monday. Again, can't use details on this, but had an opportunity to help somebody out. They've been sick, lately, and they're not one to ask for help. And so I, just, hey, I'm willing to stop by. You know what? I mean, whether it's just a discussion, maybe do a little healing, I'm open. If you're not, that's okay too. Got the thumbs up. So stopped by and did a session on this person. And, this is the first time they've ever had anything like this done, because they've just used to trying to do it themselves, which is fine. And I'm terrible about asking, to get things from others, a lot of you that I'm really close to, that do this stuff. I'm like, you never hear me really asking, do you? Once in a blue moon, I say, hey, send me a little healing. But, I'm not asking for like sessions because I just feel weird about it. I don't know. I'm weird like that, but but I like being weird. So, but the whole day, once I got the thumbs up about it, and it hit me, a little while after that, once I knew I was going to go, that the light language you have to use it. I'm like thinking, where did that come from? Like, you're going to do it. I'm like, I haven't even done it enough, and you're doing it. And I'm like, okay, you just don't argue. You never argue with your guides. They know exactly why you need to and why you need to do it. So I'm like, done. I'm not even, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So I do my healing, which, is different nowadays. It's more custom to the situation at hand. And so that's, was with all the upgrades I did last year. That was, this time it started. Work through all that. So I did, my healing for this particular person, because, it was set for them. I, literally on the spot, because I can't figure it out until I'm there with them in their energy field. And so I figure out what they need. So I'm doing that. And then I realized that, I even warned them. I said, hey, I'm going to get done with the healing. And when I'm done, I'm going to talk to you, but you're not going to have a clue what I'm saying. And I said, it's going to sound really different. But I said, all you got to do is just be open to it. Don't analyze it. Don't frustrate. Just let it be heard. And so as I, got in that mode, they came in, and sure enough, I started saying words and sentences and phrases. And they said too, which was kind of cool, because I was behind this person, and they would say, okay, lean over to her right side. So I'd lean over to her right side, say the words or phrases, and then I would, go to the other side. And then when it was wrapping up, they said, okay, now say it to the back of her head. And so I would say, words and phrases to the back of her head. And then it was, then it was over. And the cool thing with that was I knew what it meant after I was talking to this person before we began, I knew exactly why the light language was going to be effective, and it was. And again, I wish I could give more details on it, but there was some key things that happened, and things that didn't happen in a really, really good way, because again, this person wasn't feeling well. So there was things that it helped prevent, while I had a chance to then talk afterwards for a long time. And it was very moving even for me, just to be a part of it, and then get the opportunity to work with this person, because they're not one to ask. And so very blessed, very honored that they allowed it. And it looks like I'm going to go back again, because things are still a little rough, and it's understandable given the situation that they're in. But I'm going to go back again really soon, and we'll see if I'm set to do light language again or not. So but if they tell me I got to do it, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? It's not even going to be I don't you never second guess this stuff. You just don't. When your guys tell you something, you just do it. You know what I mean? Because they're never wrong. They're never wrong. And so well, thank you, Debbie. I just saw you wrote that. We like me being weird. I do. But you got to spell it the correct way. Wait, here, I'll do this. You have to spell it like this, because that's the only correct way to do it. So um but I am going to do a shirt like with that on there. I've got to figure out design, possibly with my logo. That's going to be in there at some point. It might be kind of like a one-off shirt that's for fun, but I'm going to do something with that. But yeah, I mean, and so I'm looking forward to the opportunity to explore more. And I talked about channeling the other week. And so it's kind of cool that light language and the channeling have kind of almost kind of merged a little bit. Not merged, but just kind of like, here's two doors, here's two things that are in a little bit of they're not quite the same, but they are a little bit, just from the fact of their talent. The light language is coming in there, that you're expressing it out there. Channeling is coming through, where I'm just kind of having something come through me that's going to say things out. So I mean, there's some similarities. Obviously, they're not the same, because there's way different, but it's neat that both those doors, and typically, for me, it's usually one door at a time. They know not to overrush it, but I think they see how it can work together. And I think that's why both these doors are now opening. Because I've had this great channeling stuff that's happened. That's all brand new. Now I've had some light language stuff. So I'm like, I'm in, I mean, this stuff is amazing. I love it. And again, it's just the opportunities that just kind of fell on me. They opened up. And again, you have every choice in the world. I mean, you don't have to do anything that I do, or what others do. Do what you do. Do what calls to you. And that's, I think, the big thing. People don't know what should I do? What does it feel like? What do you feel more, confident? And I'm talking about anything in life. I mean, if you want a career change, if you want to, change your diet, whatever. I mean, that's all on you, but go with what feels good, because that's your guides. That's what's coming through to try to help you decide. You know, don't stress over it, which is easy to do. We all do that, but don't stress over it, and enjoy it. Enjoy the moment, even though it might be stressful, but don't worry about it. Relax, take a couple deep breaths, and just be like, hey, ask, hey, I know I need to, eat better. What do you think is the best way to do this? And then stop and just relax, but don't fight for an answer. Just see what feels like it's, supposed to come through for you. It's like, well, eat more veggies. Well, I know that, but they're also going to, say the same thing. You're gonna be like, well, duh, but you guys get what the point is. It's the fact that, trust in it, and then, if you were like me and several others, and like the people that are going to be taking the class, you're going to be on that path to where I can take a couple deep breaths, see the guides, and be like, hey, what do you think I should do? Let's cut all this other stuff out. What's the right move here? Give me the answer. Boom, on the way I go. And it's and just like this, with these doors opening, hey, do this. Like they told me to do the light language for my client. Do it. I stopped putting, negative thoughts in. Hey, Sharon, you have a great day. And I stopped forcing, or analyzing things that, because that just, it doesn't help. It adds more stress. It adds, just some chaos to it. And I don't like that. And so I found that if I just don't worry about it. I just let it go. I'm open. Whatever it's supposed to be, it's going to happen for me. And so, yeah, I'm at a point where I feel comfortable. Anytime they say do this, okay. I've never been, like I said, I've never been wrong, or they've never wronged me. And every time they've done it, I've had a great experience over it. And then I get to share things like that, or I get to, have a moment where I'm excited. Because maybe it was a rough day, and then I have this moment, because even then, when I went over to help this out, it wasn't the best day, because in fact, if I'm not mistaken, it was, well, we won't go there, but it wasn't a great day, but that was a highlight for me. It made my evening fantastic, and it made me forget about, some of the stuff that happened during the day. So again, you take whatever you can, you take the wins. And for me, even if it's a rough day, or it started good and then got rough, it's just this balancing thing that, we've talked about before and most people know about. It's just, you just got to go with it, and you can't freak out. I mean, it sucks, again, I say that a lot, but it's just a part of the process, that we all have to endure and things. So, yeah, okay. So he's definitely on the main floor. I can hear him now. So hopefully he's okay. I don't hear any odd noises, but I do hear him. So good. So we're doing great. My goal was to get 30 minutes in, and then every 10, 15 minutes was like a bonus for me. So I'm excited to get to, 50 minutes at this point, or 51 minutes. So I'm excited. This is great. Because I kind of stressed about it, because I mean, he's a good kid, but he's got things that we have to keep an eye on and stuff. And so it's just one of those things that I have to kind of do double duty, since it's just me. But I got him as set as I could before I came down here, so it was great. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. I will say this. Yeah, so next Saturday is definitely, I'll definitely be back on. The Shamanic weekend, the 6th and 7th. So the 6th would be, the 2 shows from now. That one's probably, that one I got to figure out. I'm going to look, because I think I'm going to still try to record a show, or since the show, well, we got to do class early. I don't know. I haven't thought that far as to what I'll do. So I'm either going to record a show that week, so that way you guys still have something. Because it would be even better if it'd be great to do a live show, even though the signal's not as good out there, because it's way out yonder. So so signal's not great. So it would be great to do a live show from there, even if it was for a few minutes. But hey, Ron, good morning. So I don't know. I mean, I can easily record something on my phone and then post it as soon as the signal gets better. But I don't know. I just didn't think that far ahead, but I figured I'd come up with something. I will let my guides help me with that. See, that's how that works. So I'm gonna let my guides dictate. Record, no show. Maybe do a little video. Hello. We'll see. We'll see how it rolls. Because I know because I'm off on that Friday. But yeah, I mean, I'll be kind of getting things ready. Even though I'm only 30 minutes from the location, but I at least I want to make sure things are packed up and stuff. I mean, I already have things in a few piles already that are going, but we'll see. So yeah, so that's how the schedule's kind of going. And then after that, I think there'll be a longer gap between the next time I can't do a Saturday show, because I do have a lot of things coming up, and there's a lot of Saturday events. And so I can still do the show. I just then, we'll be, racing to get out of here to then move on to the next thing that's going on in the day. So I know there's some stuff coming up, especially in August, that are going to be busy. And then most of September has got things booked up. Some of it, yes. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm not going to look at my phone and just stare down at a screen and things like that. But like I said, I just want to give you at least the next couple of weeks, give you guys a heads up. So, yeah. And then, obviously I want to try to figure out some other, I'd like to figure out some other pop-up shows if I could. I just know not this coming week, but the week after will be really bad. Cause again, I'll be getting ready for the class that weekend, but, I'd like to do I love to do another reading show. Would love to even, I still love to try to get a couple of those other ideas, and I'd love to get a flute show, a flute meditation in for you guys. I'd love to I'd love to do, a meditation one, which again, I would have to switch platforms. I'd have to go to like Zoom or something like that to have you guys all get you guys all links to it, and we can just do like a guided meditation. That's something I still would love to do for everybody. Again, I know not everybody can make it, but and even then, depending on the day and the time, but it's all good. But yeah, I can't do that here because obviously I want to I'm going to have some music because I know it's going to help some people out, and I can't do that, on a social media or I'll get flagged for copyright stuff. So oh, thanks, Amanda. Yeah. But yeah, so I have to do it through Zoom because again, it can't be on a social media site or I'll get copyright hits, and I'm not going that route. So yeah, so we'll do like a Zoom meeting, and then I'll throw some music in the background just to help everybody out. But you'll hear me guiding through it and stuff. And I've talked about it before, but I'd love to do it again because it's I love doing that, and I don't get to do it as much as I want to, but in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be able to help out. And those that do make it to the class, you're going to get a special treat that's never, ever, ever happened before. You're going to get live music. You're going to get native flute music from me during some of the guided meditations. So that's a new thing that we're adding to it. So we're excited about that. So yeah, if you make that class, there's going to be some times where you're going to really, it's going to help you a ton. And because, we all know that we love music, but the native music, all the different aspects of it, the elements, the tones and frequencies of the flute, it's one of those that will help you relax. And again, it's even proven scientifically from the tones and frequencies of flute. So it's great for sleep stuff, and that's why it's going to help relax everybody. So we want to add that in, where we can on certain things, and that'll be great. And you guys you enjoy it if you make it out, I'm telling you. So and even then, we'd love to continue to do this class. I mean, we will do this class again. There probably won't be another class one this year, so we'll have to set stuff up for next year. So I mean, if this year you're kind of rough, hard hit with financial issues and things like that, keep it in mind. I will be posting about it. We'll try to get dates a little bit earlier this year, so that way people can maybe make sure that weekend's available. But yeah, we'll try to get things, whether it's the end of the year or early part of January or February, we'll get those dates set, so that way people want to come up or hang out and do this class again. If we can do it at the same location, we will. If we can't, we'll shift it to another one. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So yeah, look at that, 2 minutes. Love it. That was great. We did good. So I thank my son for hanging in there and not getting too frustrated. So and needing me. So that works out. But yeah, so like I said, I'll be back next week. I'm going to still try to get some more posts out there as things happen and share some fun stuff with you guys. And, again, I love when certain things happen. I can share about some of the messages and things that I get. So that way it kind of gives you an idea to look out for things in your life. And especially if, this isn't a path that you've started or you've been curious and things, at least you can start to just open up a little bit and just look around and see when things are unusual to you, and then be like, well, that's kind of weird that happened. There you go. So those are the things you got to look out for, because it's going to be unique for you. I mean, it could be similar to some of the stuff that me and others have had too, but a lot of times it will be unique to yourself. So yeah. So let's wrap this up. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep plugging away, keep doing my thing. You guys, I hope we'll have a great Saturday, a great Sunday. So your weekends are awesome. Have a great week next week and enjoy it. Like I said, I'll be around. I'm gonna try to start, probably in a couple weeks after the shamanic class. I'm going to try to open up some times for people that if they're interested in booking some readings with me. I want to try to push that a little bit. I mean, obviously I can't do it every day. I'm going to try to do it more weekends, but if I have to do something during the week, I can. It's just always kind of, it's going to have that kind of asterisk after it. And that asterisk is just because it depends on how bad of a day it was for me. Because if I didn't get any sleep, I don't want to be, running, pretty low energy and try to help you guys out, So, but yeah, I will, we're going to try to open that up a little bit more. And so I'll kind of throw some dates out there and be like, hey, I got these time slots. Who wants them? I'll probably go that route, and then we'll shoot for that. So yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys have been awesome. Appreciate you guys hanging out on your Saturday mornings. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And yeah, we will see you again next week. Again, enjoy the weekend, enjoy your week, and I will see you soon. So you guys have been watching the Mid-Morning Medium Chat with Adam of the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you for being here again. All my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. And we'll see you again soon. Bye.